I've been quiet in the waiting, carrying prayers I couldn't explain. Every tear fell with a question, every step felt heavy with faith. I've seen doors that wouldn't open, heard silence louder than fear. But something in my spirit's rising, like heaven's whisper drawing near. I don't need a sign to shout, I don't need the proof to stand. There's a stirring I can't deny now. God is moving in the land. Something big is coming. Something big is coming. I can feel it in the air. What he promised, he's already started. It's closer than I dare. Something big is coming. Something big is coming. This is not the end of me. What was hidden is now unfolding. I can see what's coming next. I believe. Oh, I've been faithful in the shadows, still showing up when hope fell thin. I learned how to praise in the waiting. Now I'm watching the shift begin. Every seed planted in the silence, every prayer I thought he missed, is breaking ground in his timing. This moment was built from this. I've outgrown the fear that held me. I've survived what should have crushed me. If he brought me through the valley, then the promise must be coming. Something big is coming. I don't say it lightly now. I've seen God move too many times to doubt him anyhow. Something big is coming. Something big is coming. Not because I earned the grace, but the God who spoke the promise is already making way. It's already in way. It's already in motion. I feel the shift. He's not late. It's closer than it feels. Closer than the pain. Closer than the weight. Closer than the rain. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know who, and that's enough for me. If he said it, he will do it. If he spoke it, he will prove it. I don't chase the promise, I stand still. That's what you do. Something big is coming. Something big is coming. I hear heaven say my name. What was dead is resurrected, and nothing's ever been the same. Something big is coming. Something big is coming. This is more than hope or faith. I'm standing at the doorway, watching God make a way. I won't rush the moment. I won't miss the sign. What he's doing right now. He's doing right now. Something big. Something big. Something big is coming. It's coming. There's a sound I've never heard before. In the middle of my ordinary days, it's not loud, but it's unmistakable. Like heaven leaning my way. I've been praying the same old prayers, walking roads I've walked before, but something changed in the atmosphere, and I don't feel stuck anymore. I'm not guessing, I'm not afraid. What I'm sensing is heaven rearranging things. I can feel heaven moving. I can see the pieces align. What felt delayed is now in motion, right on heaven's time. I can feel heaven moving, not just stirring deep in me. Doors are opening quietly where I didn't have the key. The weight I carried for so long doesn't feel the same tonight. What once felt heavy in my spirit feels lighter in His light. I don't need every answer now. I don't need to see the end. If heaven's moving on my behalf, then I know how this will be. I've learned to trust the silence. I've learned to wait and see. When God starts shifting things around, He's always ahead of me. I can feel heaven moving, even when I stand still. What He's starting, He will finish. Every promise, every will. I can feel heaven moving. This is more than hope or sound. What was stuck is starting to breathe. I feel the ground turning now. I see it, I sense it. It's happening, He's at work. I see doors I didn't knock on, opening on their own. I see peace where fear once lived. I'm not walking this alone. I hear God say, stay ready. I hear heaven say, watch me. I don't chase what's coming next. I just stand where I'm meant to be. If He's moving, I will wait. If He's shifting, I won't rush. What He does in quiet moments always ends up being much. I can feel heaven moving all around my life again. What I prayed for in the shadows is appearing in the light, amen. I can feel heaven moving. This is more than words I say. I don't have to force the breakthrough. I can feel heaven making way. I'll stay ready. I'll stay still. If heaven's moving, then I will. I'll stay still. If heaven's moving, I'll stay still. If heaven's moving, then I will. I'll stay still. I'll stay still. I'll stay still. If heaven's moving, then I will. I don't have to force the moment. I don't have to chase the plan. What I worried over yesterday is slipping out of my hands. I see peace where there was pressure. I see answers start to rise. What I couldn't understand before is becoming clear with time. I didn't hear a loud announcement, I didn't feel the ground shake, but suddenly my spirit knows it. This is the turning point of faith. Everything is falling into place. I don't have to fight it anymore. What was scattered now is aligning like I've never seen before. Everything is falling into place. Every step, every delay, what felt broken is restoring. I can see it clearly now. This way I look back at every closed door, and I finally understand what I call disappointment was you protecting my stand. You were lining up the right time. You were shaping more than plans. You were working on my character so I could hold what's in your hands. What I thought was lost forever was never really gone. You were building something stronger all along. Everything is falling into place. I can feel the weight lift off my chest. What I prayed for in the waiting is arriving at its best. Everything is falling into place. Not by power, not by might, but the God who keeps his promises is bringing it to life. I see it now. It's lining up. Oh, understand. Yeah. It's dawning up. Oh, I understand. Doors are opening without effort. Pieces settling in my soul. What I feared would never happen is finally unfolding whole. I'm not rushing the next chapter. I'm not scared of what's ahead. If it's falling into place like this, then I trust where you're leading me now. I don't have to push. Oh, yeah. I don't have to stray. If God is in the middle, then nothing's in vain. Everything is falling into place, even better than I planned. What I waited on for seasons is resting in your hands. Everything is falling into place. I can breathe again today. I won't doubt what you are doing. I can finally say I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not chasing tomorrow. I'm standing right here. Everything is falling into place. Everything is falling into place. Everything is falling into place. I was bracing for the worst case, preparing for another delay. I told myself just stay ready in case you didn't move my way. I was watching all the wrong signs, counting reasons it wouldn't work. But while I was busy managing fear, you were rewriting the whole story. I thought I knew how this would end, but you had a different plan. I didn't see it coming, but you were already there. What I thought would take forever, you handled without delay. I didn't see it coming, you moved when hope felt thin. What I thought was almost over was only just beginning. I expected slow progress, I expected closed doors, but answers showed up quietly, like I never seen before. You didn't ask my permission, you didn't wait for my fear. You stepped into my situation and changed the atmosphere. I stopped explaining how you should move, and you showed me who you are. I didn't see it coming, but now I understand. You don't follow human timing, you move at your command. I didn't see it coming, but I see you clearly now. You don't need my expectations to work it all out. You surprised me, you stepped in, you turned it around. You stepped in, you stepped in, you turned it around. You didn't ask me what I wanted, you gave me what I needed most. You didn't change just one situation, you restored my hope. I thought I had this figured out, I thought I knew the way. But when I let go of control, that's when you made the change. You moved suddenly, but you were always on time, and you shocked my doubt with your design. I didn't see it coming, but I recognize your hand. You did more than I imagined, more than I had planned. I didn't see it coming, but now my faith can say, if you did it this way once, you'll do it again this way. I won't limit what you can do, I trust the way you move. I didn't see it coming, but you did. I didn't see it coming. I was focused on what wasn't moving, counting every silent day. I kept asking why the answers never came the way I prayed. I thought you had gone quiet, thought you stepped aside, but now I see in every moment you were right here by my side. I don't question the waiting anymore, I see what it was for. God was working the whole time, even when I couldn't tell. What I thought was standing still was Heaven rearranging things so well. God was working the whole time, nothing wasted, nothing lost. Every delay was divine, every step already crossed. You were closing doors I begged you for, opening ones I couldn't see. You were guarding me from outcomes that would have cost too much of me. You were shaping more than moments. You were strengthening my faith. So when the blessing finally showed up, I'd be ready for the way. I didn't miss a single promise. You were faithful all along. God was working the whole time. God was working the whole time while I waited, while I prayed. What I thought was just endurance was you making room for change. God was working the whole time. Every tear had purpose too. If I'm standing here still trusting, then I know what's coming through. And now I see it clearly. Now I feel it near. What you were preparing in the silence is starting to appear. I don't look back with regret. I don't question where you've been. If you worked it all this perfectly, then you're not finished yet. You don't prepare a heart for nothing. You don't align things just to wait. If you've been working all this time, then the breakthrough must be on its way. God was working the whole time, and He's still working now. What He started in the waiting is unfolding anyhow. The whole time, so I stand here unafraid. If He carried me this far, then I trust what's on the way. I won't rush, I won't die, I won't doubt. I trust what you're doing now. God was working the whole time. I've been standing on the same prayer with the same words on my tongue. Every night I said I trust you, but the waiting felt too long. I smiled through all the questions, told myself I'd be okay. But there were moments in the silence when my faith felt worn and thin. I didn't stop believing, but I was close, I won't lie. I held on with shaking hands as the tears filled my eyes. I was almost tired of believing, almost ready to let it go. Almost said maybe tomorrow, almost stopped hoping for more. But something deep inside reminded me, you've never failed me before. I was almost tired of believing, but I stayed right here at the door. I've seen you move in other seasons, I've sung the songs of victory, but it's harder when you're quiet and the promise is all I see. I counted days instead of blessings, measured time instead of grace. But even when I questioned everything, you never walked away. I didn't know it then, but the waiting wasn't wasted. You were strengthening my trust while I thought I was breaking. I was almost tired of believing, but I didn't let it go. I stood right here in the waiting, when walking away felt close. You were closer than I realized, even when I couldn't see. I was almost tired of believing, but you were preparing me. And now I feel it changing. Now I sense you near. What I thought was just endurance is turning into faith made clear. I didn't hold on for nothing, I didn't wait in vain. If you kept me this long standing, then the promise must remain. I didn't come this far to turn back, I didn't survive this to stay the same. If you've kept me believing, then something big must be on its way. I was almost tired of believing, but now I understand. You don't strengthen hearts for nothing, you don't prepare empty hands. If I'm still standing, still trusting, still calling on your name, then what you've been building in the waiting is about to break through and change. I didn't give up, because you didn't leave, because you didn't leave. I was almost tired of believing, but now I'm ready to receive. I didn't give up, because you didn't leave, because you didn't leave. I was almost tired of believing, but now I'm ready to receive. There were nights I barely slept, days I barely smiled. I told everyone I was fine, but inside I was tired. I kept saying just a little longer, even when I felt worn thin. I didn't know how much strength I had until I was tested again. I thought I'd give up by now, thought I'd fall apart somehow, but every time I almost let go, something kept me holding on. I held on longer than I thought I could, stayed when it would have been easier to leave. I held on through the unanswered prayers when nothing made sense to me. I didn't know I was stronger than this, I didn't know how deep faith runs. I held on longer than I thought I could, and now I see what you've done. I remember crying in the silence, asking you how long it would be. But even when I couldn't hear you, you were steady in me. Every tear was teaching patience, every delay shaping trust. I didn't break under the pressure, you were building me up. I was stretched but not defeated, pressed but I'm still standing here. I didn't lose what you promised, I just had to persevere. I held on longer than I thought I could. When my strength was almost gone, I stayed right here in the waiting. what you were doing then. I would have trusted you sooner, but I trust you now. I held on longer than I thought I could, but it wasn't by my own strength. You were lifting me through the waiting every single day. I won't forget the nights you kept me when I couldn't see the end. I held on longer than I thought I could. Still holding me there. I holding me I'm still here, still standing, because you held me first. I kept waiting for the moment when everything would feel brand new. Thought the change would come with a noise or a sign I couldn't miss from you. But the days just kept on coming, nothing sudden, nothing loud. Yet somehow I was breathing easier without knowing how. I didn't notice it at first, but something shifted deep in me. It changed quietly while I was still praying. It changed quietly while I was still waiting. The fear that used to hold me doesn't speak the same way. It changed quietly, and I'm not the same. I still face the same questions, still walk through unknown days, but my heart doesn't panic like it used to in the same place. Oh, I stopped rehearsing the worst case, stopped bracing for the fall. I learned that peace doesn't shout, sometimes it just settles in my soul. You didn't rush the process, you healed me layer by layer. It changed quietly when I wasn't watching. It changed quietly when I stopped forcing. The weight I used to carry is lighter now somehow. It changed quietly, and I can feel it now. You were changing me before you changed the situation, strengthening my faith before giving explanation. What I prayed would disappear, you taught me how to rise above. You didn't just fix the problem, you healed my heart with love. You were working even when I couldn't tell. You were healing. I thought I needed answers, but I needed peace instead. It changed quietly, but it changed completely. It changed. quiet, and it changed me deeply, yeah. I don't have to force the future, I trust you with what's ahead. It changed quietly, and now I rest. I rest in what you've done, I trust what you're doing now. It changed quietly. It changed quietly. I remember nights I couldn't breathe, days when hope felt far from me. I questioned everything I knew and wondered if you'd see me through. I was praying from a broken place, holding on with fragile faith, but looking back on where I've been, I see how far you carried me. I still have questions, still growing every day, but something's different now. I'm not where I was, I may not be where I'm going, but I'm not where I was. I still trust you, still learning who I am, but I'm stronger than before. I'm not where I was. I still walk through uncertain roads, still waiting on some open doors, but fear doesn't control my steps like it used to anymore. I don't measure life by what I lack, I see the grace that's brought me back. You didn't rush my healing through, you walked with me till I stood new. You didn't change the past, but you changed me, and that changed everything. I'm not where I was, even when the journey's slow. I'm not where I was, I still need you. Still leaning on your hand, but I've come too far to doubt. I'm not where I was. I didn't get it by my strength, I didn't make it on my own. Every step was held together by your mercy, carrying me home. You were patient with my process, faithful through my doubts. You didn't give up on me then, and you won't give up now. You brought me through, you stayed with me, you carried me. Oh, I don't have everything I asked for, but I have peace now. I'm not where I was, and that alone reminds me you're still the pressure would make me fall. They didn't see what you were building in the fire I walked through alone. I was pushed past my comfort, stretched beyond what felt safe. But every time I felt like giving in, your grace kept me in place. I didn't come this far by accident. I didn't survive by chance. I didn't break, I bent. When the load was heavy on my faith, I didn't shatter under pressure. I learned how to bend and still stay. I didn't break, I bent. You held me when I felt weak. What was meant to wear me down only strengthened me. I face the nights I won't explain, fought battles no one saw. I carry questions in my spirit and kept moving on. I didn't always understand, didn't always feel brave, but every time I leaned on you, you taught me how to stay. I'm still standing here today. That alone says enough. But I didn't let go. I didn't break, but I didn't let go. I stayed rooted in your promise. When the winds began to blow, I didn't break, I bent. And now I see the truth. What tried to push me under couldn't move what you secured. Pressure didn't ruin me, it revealed what was inside. Every tear I cried in silence only proved I'd survive. You don't build strength and calm, you don't grow faith and ease. What I thought was overwhelming was you strengthening me. Yeah, I didn't bend away from you, I bent toward your grace. And that's why I'm still standing in this place. I didn't break, I bent. And I won't apologize for surviving what should have ended me with you right by my side. I didn't break, I bent. And now I stand secure. If you held me through the pressure, then I know I will endure. I'm not ashamed of the way, I'm stronger because of it. I didn't break, I didn't break. Faith doesn't always shout. Sometimes it stands still when the answers take longer and the nights feel real. Faith isn't perfect words or knowing what to say. It's showing up again when fear tries to lead the way. It's not the absence of doubt, it's choosing trust anyway. This is what faith looks like, standing when it's hard to stand. This is what faith looks like, holding on with open hands. Not because I see the ending, not because I understand, Faith doesn't rush the promise, doesn't force the plan. It listens in the silence and follows where you lead me next. It learns how to wait without fear, how to hope without control. Faith believes you're working even when I let go. I don't need to see the whole road, just the next step in your life. This is what faith looks like, trusting you when it's unclear. This is what faith looks like, choosing peace instead of fear. I don't need all the answers, I just need your hand. If you're walking right beside me, then this is where I stay. Faith looks like staying when leaving feels easier. Faith looks like praising before the breakthrough appears. Hey, faith looks like courage that doesn't make sense. Faith looks like obedience without knowing what's next. I won't wait for proof to trust you, I won't need a sign to believe. If you said it, I receive it. That's what faith means to me. This is what faith looks like. I won't shrink back now. This is what faith looks like, standing firm somehow. I've seen you too many times to doubt the way you move. If you brought me this far, then I trust what you'll do. This is faith, still trusting, still standing, still believing. This is what faith looks like. I didn't know the moment, I didn't know the time, but somewhere in the waiting, I learned to trust the sign. I questioned the process, I wrestled with the delay, but even in the silence, you were never far away. You didn't move the way I planned, but you moved the way I needed. I knew you would come through, even when the nights were long. I knew you would come through, you've always proved me wrong. When I couldn't see the ending, I trusted what you do. I didn't have all the answers, but I knew you'd come through. Ooh. Now I see it so much clearer. While the road was slow, you were strengthening my faith, more than changing what I know. What I thought was just endurance was you shaping me for more. You were opening my heart first before opening the door. You were faithful in the waiting, you were working all along. I knew you would come through when my strength was almost gone. Oh, I knew you would come through. You were I knew you would come through. You gave me peace again. I don't feel what's coming next. I trust what you'll still do. I don't need another sign. I knew you would come through, yeah. You did it before, you'll do it again. I rest in your faithfulness. I knew you would come through. I've been quiet in the waiting, carrying prayers I couldn't explain. Every tear fell with a question. Every step felt heavy with faith. I've seen doors that wouldn't open, heard silence louder than fear. But something in my spirit's rising, like heaven's whisper drawing near. I don't need the sign to shout it, I don't need the proof to stand. There's a stirring I can't deny now. God is moving in the land. Something big is coming, I can feel it in the air. What He promised, He's already started. It's closer than I dare. Something big is coming, this is not the end of me. What was hidden is now unfolding. I can see what's coming next. I believe. Oh, I've been faithful in the shadows, still showing up when hope felt thin. I learned how to praise in the waiting. Now I'm watching the shift begin. Every seed planted in the silence, every prayer I thought He missed, is breaking ground in His timing. This moment was built from this. I've outgrown the fear that held me. I've survived what should have crushed me. If He brought me through the valley, then the promise must be coming. Something big is coming. I don't say it lightly now. I've seen God move too many times to doubt Him anyhow. Something big is coming, not because I earned the grace, but the God who spoke the promise is already making way. It's already in motion. It's closer than it feels, closer than the pain, closer than the waiting, closer than the rain. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know who, and that's enough for me. If He said it, He will do it. If He spoke it, He will prove it. I don't chase the promise, I stand still and watch Him move it. Something big is coming. I hear heaven say my name. What was dead is resurrecting. Nothing's ever been the same. sign. What he's doing right now was worth the wait in time. Something big is coming, is coming. There's a sound I never heard before. In the middle of my ordinary days. It's not loud, but it's unmistakable. Like heaven leaning my way. I've been praying the same old prayers, walking roads I've walked before. But something changed in the atmosphere, and I don't feel stuck anymore. I'm not guessing, I'm not afraid. What I'm sensing is heaven rearranging things. I can feel heaven moving, I can see the pieces align. What felt delayed is now in motion, right on heaven's time. I can feel heaven moving, not just stirring deep in me. Doors are opening quietly where I didn't have the key. The weight I carried for so long doesn't feel the same tonight. What once felt heavy in my spirit feels lighter in His light. I don't need every answer now, I don't need to see the end. If heaven's moving on my behalf, then I know how this will bend. I've learned to trust the silence, I've learned to wait and see. When God starts shifting things around, He's always ahead of me. I can feel heaven moving, even when I stand still. What He started, He will finish. Every promise, every will. Oh, I can feel heaven moving. This is more than hope or sound. What was stuck is starting to breathe. I feel the ground turning down. I see it, I sense it, it's happening. He's at work. I see it, I sense it, it's happening. I see doors I didn't knock on, opening on their own. I see peace where fear once lived. I'm not walking this alone. I hear God say, stay ready. I hear heaven say, watch me. I don't chase what's coming next, I just stand where I'm meant to be. If He's moving, I will wait. If He's shifting, I won't rush. What He does in quiet moments always ends up being much. I can feel heaven moving. still. If heaven's moving, then I will. I don't have to force the moment, I don't have to chase the plan. What I worried over yesterday is slipping out of my hands. I see peace where there was pressure, I see answers start to rise. What I couldn't understand before is becoming clear with time. I didn't hear a loud announcement, I didn't feel the ground shake, but suddenly my spirit knows it. This is the turning point of faith. Everything is falling into place, I don't have to fight it anymore. What was scattered now is aligning like I've never seen before. Everything is falling into place, every step, every delay. What felt broken is restoring, I can see it clearly now, this way. I look back at every closed door, and I finally understand. What I call disappointment was you protecting my steps. You were lining up the right time, you were shaping more than plans. You were working on my character so I could hold what's in your hands. What I thought was a loss forever was never really gone. You were building something stronger all along. Everything is falling into place, I can feel the weight lift off my chest. What I prayed for in the waiting is arriving at its best. Everything is falling into place, not by power, not by might, but the God who keeps his promises is bringing it to life. I see it now, I see it now, it's lining up, I understand. Oh no, I see it now, it's lining up, I understand. Doors are opening without effort, peace is settling in my soul. What I feared would never happen is finally unfolding whole. I'm not rushing the next chapter, I'm not scared of what's ahead. If it's falling into place like this, then I trust where you're leading me next. I don't have to push, I don't have to strain. If God is in the middle, then nothing's in vain. Everything is falling into place, even better than I planned. What I waited on for seasons is resting in your hands. Everything is falling into place, I can breathe again today. I won't doubt what you are doing, I can finally say I was bracing for the worst case, preparing for another delay. I told myself just stay ready, in case you didn't move my way. I was watching all the wrong signs, counting reasons it wouldn't work. But while I was busy managing fear, you were rewriting the whole story. I thought I knew how this would end, but you had a different plan. I didn't see it coming, but you were already there. What I thought would take forever, you handled without delay. Oh, I didn't see it coming. You moved when hope fell thin. What I thought was almost over was only just beginning. I expected slow progress, I expected closed doors, but answers showed up quietly, like I'd never seen before. You didn't ask my permission, you didn't wait for my fear. You stepped into my situation and changed the atmosphere. I stopped explaining how you should move, and you showed me who you are. I didn't see it coming, but now I understand. You don't follow human timing, you move at your command. Oh, I didn't see it coming, but I see you clearly now. You don't need my expectations to work it all out. You didn't ask me what I wanted, you gave me what I needed more. Oh, yeah. You didn't change just one situation, you restored my hope. Oh, I thought I had this figured out, I thought I knew the way. But when I let go of control, that's when you made the change. You moved suddenly, but you were always on time. You shocked my doubt with your design. I didn't see it come, but I recognize your hand. You did more than I imagined, more than I had planned. Oh, I didn't see it coming. Oh, but now my faith can say, if you did it this way once, you'll do it again this way. I'll limit what you can do. I trust the way you move. Oh, yeah. I didn't see it coming, but you did. But you did. I was focused on what wasn't moving, counting every silent day. I kept asking why the answers never came the way I prayed. I thought you had gone quiet, thought you stepped aside, but now I see in every moment you were right here by my side. I don't question the waiting anymore, I see what it was for. God was working the whole time, even when I couldn't tell. I don't look back with regret. I don't question where you've been. If you worked it all this perfectly, then you're not finished yet. You don't prepare a heart for nothing. You don't align things just to wait. If you've been working all this time, then the breakthrough must be on its way. God was working and still working. What He started in the waiting is unfolding anyhow. God was working the whole time, so I stand here unafraid. If He carried me this far, then I trust what's on the way. I won't rush, I won't doubt. I trust what you're doing now. God was working the whole time. I've been standing on the same prayer with the same words on my tongue. Every night I said I trust you, but the waiting felt too long. I smiled through all the questions, told myself I'd be okay. But there were moments in the silence when my faith felt worn and thin. I didn't stop believing, but I was close, I won't lie. I held on with shaking hands as the tears filled my eyes. I was almost tired of believing, almost ready to let it go, almost said maybe tomorrow, almost stopped hoping for more. But something deep inside reminded me, you've never failed me before. I was almost tired of believing, but I stayed right here at the door. I've seen you move in other seasons, I've sung the songs of victory, but it's harder when you're quiet and the promise is all I see. I counted days instead of blessings, measured time instead of grace. But even when I questioned everything, you never walked away. I didn't know it then, but the waiting wasn't wasted. You were strengthening my trust while I thought I was breaking. I was almost tired of believing, but I didn't let it now I'm ready to receive. There were nights I barely slept, days I barely smiled. I told everyone I was fine, but inside I was tired. I kept saying just a little longer, even when I felt worn thin. I didn't know how much strength I had until I was tested again. I thought I'd give up by now, thought I'd fall apart somehow, but every time I almost let go, something kept me holding on. I held on longer than I thought I could, stayed when it would have been easier to leave. I held on through the unanswered prayers when nothing made sense to me. I didn't know I was stronger than this, I didn't know how deep faith runs. I held on longer than I thought I could, and now I see what you've done. I remember crying in the silence, asking you how long it would be. But even when I couldn't hear you, you were steadying me. Every tear was teaching patience, every delay shaping trust. I didn't break under the pressure, you were building me up. I was stretched but not defeated, pressed but I'm still standing here. I didn't lose what you promised, I just had to persevere. Longer than I thought I could, when my strength was almost gone, I stayed right here in the waiting. When giving up felt strong, you were closer than I realized, working while I waited on you. I held on longer than I thought I could. You were holding me when I thought I was holding you. You were carrying the weight, I was never meant to move. I didn't fall, I didn't fail, you kept me strong, you kept me well. And if I had known I didn't fail, what you were doing then, I would have trusted you sooner. But I trust you now. I didn't fail, you kept me strong, you kept me well. And if I had known what you were doing then, I would have trusted you sooner. But I didn't fail, you kept me strong. And if I had known what you were doing then, I would have trusted you sooner. I won't forget the night you kept me when I couldn't see the end. I held on longer than I thought I could, because you were holding me then. I'm still here, still standing, because you held me first. I kept waiting for the moment when everything would feel brand new. Thought the change would come with noise or a sign I couldn't miss from you. But the days just kept on coming, nothing sudden, nothing loud. Yet somehow I was breathing easier without knowing how. I didn't notice it at first, but something shifted deep in me. It changed quietly while I was still praying. It changed quietly while I was still waiting. The fear that used to hold me doesn't speak the same way. It changed quietly, and I'm not the same. I still face the same questions, still walk through unknown days, but my heart doesn't panic like it used to in the same place. I stopped rehearsing the worst case, stopped bracing for the fall. I learned that peace doesn't shout, sometimes it just settles in my soul. You didn't rush the process, you healed me layer by layer. It changed quietly when I wasn't watching. It changed quietly when I stopped forcing the weight I used to carry. It's lighter now somehow. It changed quietly, and I can feel it now. You were changing me before you changed the situation. Strengthening my faith before giving explanation. What I prayed would disappear, you taught me how to rise above. You didn't just fix the problem, you healed my heart with love. You were working even when I couldn't tell. You were healing. I thought I needed answers, but I needed peace instead. It changed quietly, but it changed completely. It changed quietly, and it changed me deeply. I don't have to force the future, I trust you with what's ahead. It changed quietly, and now I rest. Rest in what you've done, I trust what you're doing now. It changed quietly. It changed quietly. I remember nights I couldn't breathe, days when hope felt far from me. I questioned everything I knew and wondered if you'd see me through. I was praying from a broken place, holding on with fragile faith. But looking back on where I've been, I see how far you carried me. I still have questions, still growing every day, but something's different now. I'm not where I was, I may not be where I'm going, but I'm not where I was. I still trust you, still learning who I am, but I'm stronger than before. I'm not where I was. I still walk through uncertain roads, still waiting on some open doors, but fear doesn't control my used to anymore. I don't measure life by what I lack. I see the grace that's brought me back. You didn't rush my healing through. You walked with me till I stood new. You didn't change the past, but you changed me, and that changed everything. Beautiful love, I'm not where I was, even when the journey's slow. I'm not where I was. I still need you, still leaning on your hand, but I've come too far to die. I'm not where I was. I didn't get here by my strength. I didn't make it on my own. Every step was held together by your mercy, carried me home. You were patient with my process, faithful through my doubts. You didn't give up on me then, and you won't give up now. You brought me through. You stayed with me. You carried me. I don't have everything I asked for, but I have peace now. And I'm not where I was, and that alone reminds me you're still working. You're still shaping my life. I don't know every answer, but I trust you more somehow. I'm not where I was, and that's enough for now. I'm still growing, still trusting, still becoming, still becoming. I'm not where I was. They thought the weight would crush me, thought the pressure would make me fall. They didn't see what you were building in the fire I walked through alone. I was pushed past my comfort, stretched beyond what felt safe. But every time I felt like giving in, your grace kept me in place. I didn't come this far by accident. I didn't survive by chance. I didn't break, I bent when the load was heavy on my faith. I didn't shatter under pressure. I learned how to bend and still stay. I didn't break, I bent. You held me when I felt weak. What was meant to wear me down, only strengthened me. I faced the nights I won't explain, fought battles no one saw. I carried questions in my spirit and kept moving on. I didn't always understand it, I didn't always feel brave, but every time I leaned on you, you taught me how to stay. I'm still standing here today. That alone says enough. I didn't break, I been toward your grace, and that's why I'm still standing in this place. I didn't break, I bent, and I won't apologize for surviving what should have ended me with you right by my side. I didn't break, I bent, and now I stand secure. If you held me through the pressure, then I know I will endure. I'm not ashamed. I'm stronger because of it. I didn't break. Faith doesn't always shout. Sometimes it stands still when the answers take longer and the nights feel real. Faith isn't perfect words or knowing what to say. It's showing up again when fear tries to lead the way. It's not the absence of doubt, it's choosing trust anyway. This is what faith looks like, standing when it's hard to stand. This is what faith looks like, holding on with open hands. Not because I see the ending, not because I understand, but I know who holds tomorrow. This is what faith looks like. Faith doesn't rush the promise, doesn't force the plan. It listens in the silence and follows where you lead me next. It learns how to wait without fear, how to hope without control. Faith believes you're working even when I let go. I don't need to see the whole road, just the next step in your life. This is what faith looks like, trusting you when it's unclear. This is what faith looks like, choosing peace instead of fear. I don't need all the answers, I just need your hand. If you're walking right beside me, then this is where I stand. Faith looks like staying when leaving feels easier. Faith looks like praising before the breakthrough appears. Faith looks like courage that doesn't make sense. Faith looks like obedience without knowing what's next. I won't wait for proof to trust you. I won't need a sign to believe. If you said it, I receive it. That's what faith means to me. This is what faith looks like. I won't shrink back now. Standing firm somehow. I've seen you too many times to doubt the way you move. If you brought me this far, then I trust what you'll do. This is faith, still trusting, still standing, still believing. This is what faith looks like. didn't know the moment, I didn't know the time, but somewhere in the waiting, I learned to trust the sign. I questioned the process, I wrestled with the delay, but even in the silence, you were never far away. You didn't move the way I planned, but you moved the way I needed. I knew you would come through, even when the nights were long. I knew you would come through. You've always proved me wrong. When I couldn't see the ending, I trusted what you do. I didn't have all the answers, but I knew you would come through. I knew you would come through. Now I see it so much clearer, why the road was slow. You were strengthening my faith more than changing what I know. What I thought was just endurance was you shaping me for more. You were opening my heart first before opening the door. You were faithful in the waiting, you were working all along. I knew you would come through when my strength was almost gone. I knew you would come through. You were with me all along. I don't need to fear tomorrow, I've seen what you can do. If you carried me this far, I knew you would come through. Yeah, you never fail, you never change. You don't forget the prayers I prayed. Every tear, every night, you held me close and made me strong. I don't rush what's coming next, I don't doubt what you will do. I don't doubt what. If you were faithful back then, I trust you now, I trust you. I knew you would come through, and now my heart can rest. I knew you would come through. You gave me peace again. I don't fear what's coming next, and I trust what you'll still do. I don't need another sign. I knew you would come through. You did it before, you'll do it again. I rest in